Good evening, Commanders Nation. So I want to do like a positional breakdown of our tight end room because I believe our tight end room is one of the deepest rooms in our entire team. And before like a weeks ago, I was doing positional breakdowns of sort of like I did running back, I did wide receiver. So I want to finish it off now that there's no news right now, pretty much with the Commanders until training camp starts. And then I'll do like top five lists, top five studs, duds, and all that stuff. But I want to talk about tight ends. Each person in the room has their own strength, and that strength benefits the team. But I'm gonna talk about the tight end room, and then call it quits. I'm not gonna retire from this video. I mean, whatever. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I truly appreciate it. So right now, tight end number 1 is Zack Ertz. This is the guy, like, he is the receiving weapon in this tight end room, the best receiving tight end we have in the room, which isn't, I guess it isn't saying, not saying that much, but because, Ben Sinnett right now is currently developing. John Bates is predominantly a run blocking tight end, and, he's one of the best run blocking tight ends in the league. Then we got Coulson Yanov. Don't forget about him. I'm going to get to him towards the end of this video. But, Zack Ertz, like, that's his bread and butter. It's been his bread and butter the entire career. These are his stats from last year. 60-plus catches, 7 touchdowns, 650 yards. He did his thing. And you know what? Like, he had his problems in the beginning of the season. He had a bit of the dropsies. No yak Zach. There was no yak with Zach. But given his age, you can't hold it against him. Given his age, this man is like, 30? This man in his, 30s, he's doing with the best of what he got, So you can't give him too much. But that Steelers game really hurt me. It did. That Steelers, we should have won. But anyways, I got to let go of that. But, yeah, and also the reason why we signed him was his veteran presence, the leadership, him being a calming presence to Jaden Daniels on the field. There's one thing to do it in the locker room, but on the field, him knowing where the soft spots are in his own, just helping Jaden Daniels out. Even though the stats may not show that he had I guess Pro Bowl type season, he was an immense help to Jaden Daniels last year. And him also signing Austin Eckler as well. That was awesome, even though Austin Eckler got injured. But, you need vets like that around your rookie quarterback. And, he did his job. He more than did his job. I'm really happy with Zack Ertz. But, like I said, he's our number 1, I guess, coming into training camp. And then also, he's our best receiving tight end right now. He is. But behind him is John Bates. And we re-signed him 3 years, $21 million. We gave for a tight end 2, that's big money. He pretty much has tight end 2 cemented. You're not going to pay a dude like that much money to be tight end 3. He's going to be tight end 2 this upcoming year. And I'm not mad at it. John Bates, people forget, he is one of the best run blocking tight ends in this league. Not in our team, in this league. He's that good, okay? And, obviously, we need to improve the run. Hopefully Bill Jacory Krosky Merritt does some damage this year. Hopefully Brian Robinson comes back to form. You never know. But, John Bates, this is a guy where I'm just no, tight end 2 is solidified with him. He did his job last year. He performed well in run blocking. You're not going to get that much out of him passing-wise, receiving-wise. You're not going to get that much from him. You're not. That's not his bread and butter, But going to tight end 3, and this is where it gets murky. Not murky, but, this is where people start, disagreeing. Because it's Ben Sinnett. Now, this is the guy who's the jack of all trades. Tight end number 1 is the best receiving option in our tight end room. Tight end number 2 is the best run blocking option in our tight end room. Tight end number 3, Ben Sinnett, second-round pick from last year, is kind of like the jack of all trades where he can do a little bit of both. Now, granted, he is very raw right now when it comes to receiving. A little bit of run blocking as well. But multiple reports came out, and I'll put some right here, how he was one of the guys who impressed Dan Quinn and the Commanders this offseason. Dan Quinn talked about him multiple times, and he, was interviewed multiple times as well, he being Ben Sinnett. And he's just saying he just feels much more comfortable coming into this season. And the coaches noticed that. Dan Quinn singled him out multiple times. So, he's coming into his second year. And, his projection is to be a jack of to be both receiving and a run blocking option in the NFL, like a starting tight end. Like Zack Ertz was never a run blocking option. Like he was not going to be a guy, even in his prime, he was never a great run blocker. John Bates will never be a guy who's a great pass catcher. Ben Sinnett, projecting wise, should be a combination of both. He'd be the best of both worlds. Now, the main question for Ben is it going to be this year or is it going to be next year? Now, I really like Ben. Him picking in the second round, I like that. I really like Ben. But realistically, and this is just my opinion, you guys can disagree, but realistically, he's going to be the guy that takes over next year. And that's just my opinion. Now, could it be this? Like, I don't know if he's going to come in here and take over Zack Ertz's snaps on third down when you need him the most for like a receipt, like a 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5. I don't know if Ben Sinnett, I mean, you never know, maybe in certain situations, but like, I'm still a guy where like, for this year at least, let's play a lot of 3 tight end sets. We're deep at tight end room. And if all these reports of Ben Sinnett that like he's improving, he looks much more comfortable out there, if all those reports are true, then we should take advantage of it. Let's use them, especially in goal line. We have 3 big ass tight ends who could be red zone options. Yes, let's do it all. Or so like, in my opinion, I'm just like, this is the guy where he's just waiting. He's just waiting to just take over. And like I said, he came out raw coming out of college. But I want to say, like, because some people think he was going to be starter by the end of this year. I mean, the way I see it is, if he does, obviously that means that, because the Commanders are not going to just, like, Dan Quinn is not going to just give him this starting role without, him just completely justifyingly earning it. Because, like, first off, it's going to be Zack Ertz. People have to think about it this way. You're not going to just demote a veteran like Zack Ertz for, Zack Ertz, will have to be playing really, really bad, which is very possible, honestly. It could be. You never know with Father Time. He can hit a brick wall this upcoming year. We never know. Or, Ben Sinnett will just be wrecking in practice, wrecking in limited slaps in the upcoming season. So you never know. Like, but ideally, I'm already set in stone. Like, he's the heir apparent to Zack Ertz. But just thinking about it this way, I'm just like, dude, we got 3 tight ends who we feel really comfortable with. And I'm just like, let's just take advantage of it. Let's use it. But yeah, man, like, and also, like, another factor is this. God forbid somebody gets injured. I don't want to wish anybody an injury, So either Zack Ertz or Ben, if it's Zack Ertz or John Bates, Ben Sinnett can just step in for either one of those dudes. That's how, like, deep we are, in my opinion. He can hopefully, like, again, if all these reports are true and that he's looking really, much more like a different player this offseason, injuries to either one of those, Zack Ertz or John Bates, it shouldn't, like, derail us as much. If anything, it's going to give a dude like Ben Sinnett much more snaps so that he can perform, like, he can exhibit his own talent. Like, so, like, I don't think there'll be much of a drop-off. I mean, if, like, I'm going to keep saying this, if all the reports this offseason are true, or if he continues to carry this up, because then he could be an offseason warrior, but then come training camp, he ain't shit. So, we don't know yet. But, yeah, man, and then you go to tight end number 4 right now, Coulson Yanov. He made the initial 53-man roster last year. A surprise. And Coulson himself has been labeled by multiple Commanders beat writers as a guy who is surprised. Not even surprising, but like he is impressing this offseason as well, along with Ben. Those two. So now we got just like the Commanders might now have 4 tight ends who they feel really comfortable with rolling out. And I'm just like, okay, now, like, like we're going to have to make a decision. Now, if we want to keep, Coulson on the 53-man roster, or if we can afford to do it, depending on where we are in other, rooms. But, like, to me, I'm thinking, like, no, tight end room is one of our deepest rooms in our team. Like, I can think a quarterback, yeah, we got Jaden Daniels, obviously, but then Marcus Mariota, Hartman. Mostly Mariota, he's one of the best backup quarterbacks in this league so far. I mean, yeah, we all know that. I think the sleeper is linebacker because we got 3 young, exciting Bucks athletic dudes and McGee, Hampton, and now Medrano, the rookie. Maybe but like but I don't want to go into depth to like other, other positional rooms, but like tight end room is the one room where I'm just like very confident in. And, to me, like, again, it's just the weapon X is Ben. We don't know how good he's going to be, but if the reports are true, he's going to come in here and he may very well force his way onto the field. And that's the way you want it. You want somebody to earn his way onto the field, not, like in previous regimes, just because the guy's a high draft pick status, just toss him onto the field. No. Nowadays, like, if you look at our young dudes in our roster, they have to earn their snaps because they have competition in every single positional group. And I freaking love that. Nobody's being giving anything. They're earning each and every snap. And if Ben's going to earn some snaps, he's going to have to do it. He's going to have to earn it in practice and onto the field. And I love that. But yeah, man, like overall, just like this tight end room and also contract-wise, Zack Ertz, he's on a 1-year deal. That's what I'm thinking. Like Ben's going to be the future heir apparent. He's going to replace Zack Ertz next year as a starter. But it could be, you never know. If Zack Ertz gets injured, knock on wood, Ben can come in and then never let go. He can never let go of the starting like he does, and he excels. So that's definitely a possibility. But I'm saying week 1, I think Zach's going to start, and then going on from there, we'll see. Well, we'll see what happens. But, one of the Bates, like he's the dude that's going to be here for 3 more years, but he's the tight end too, just cemented for the next couple of years. And then Ben's in a rookie contract. So, he's not being paid that much. So like, the tight end room is like, we're not super financially invested. Zack Ertz, again, it's just a 1-year deal. He's probably not going to be here next year. And, it's just Ben that's on a rookie deal, and John Bates is on like a 3-year, $21 million deal. So, and when Bates' contract is up, Ben's going to be due for a contract extension. So they're both not going to be in the same, They're not going to be paid big time. So like, it's good. That's another thing. Like they're both not going to be paid big bucks at the same time. Once Bates' contract is over, Ben will be up for a contract extension, or his rookie contract will be over because they both got 3 years left in their deal. So that's another thing. Like financially, it's all beautiful. Like so. And then don't forget about Coulson. Don't forget about Coulson. If he continues to impress like he did, he's going to create a good problem for the Commanders. They're going to have to figure out ways to keep him around. So, yeah, man, I'm really excited and also really comfortable with this tight end room. We all want to see Ben play. We all want to see Ben get those snaps, and hopefully he does. You guys let me know what you guys think. I think they did a really good job with this room so far. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I truly appreciate it. Till next video. Peace, y'all.